In real life, when you want to achieve a goal, sometimes it's a wise decision to just wait, rest, regroup, and fill in any cracks which is in your plan. While playing the game, it's still the same concept. Our goal is to get the Philosopher's Stone, but there are cracks in our automation which are starting to show off. In a normal mod pack, I normally fix the issue by making a few hundred of a certain item, and then we're done. Unfortunately, in this mod pack, when you want to make a few hundred of an item, you need millions of another. So it's not easy to fill in the cracks. So essentially what I'm trying to say to you guys is, in this episode, we're going to try and regroup. Oh, and by the way, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Project Ozone 3, Kappa mode. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I think first we should start by fixing our Empowerer issue. We have 7 recipes to process, but unfortunately we have only one Empowerer, and that Empowerer is always busy trying to make Diamantine crystals, because we need it for the capacitor. I just checked and we're going to need another tower of Empowerers because we have 7 recipes, and I think we're going to do it here. Finally, it's done. I just wanted to test that everything works good. And it seems good. As usual, I have an interface here which has the 7 patterns that we're going to need to craft. Everything goes inside an ender chest. There is a filtering system underneath the Empowerer tower which distributes the item into different Empowerers, and then we import the final product in our ME system. Of course, I have to wait for the rest to set the filter. Yes, the Enori crystal is the last one. So this system works, and I'm happy. I moved our laser cutter from up there to down here, and now I think it's time to start automating making processors from applied energistics, because so far I've been doing that manually, and it's a tedious job. And by manually, I don't mean that I make them one by one, it's just not managed by our applied energistics system. Otherwise we make them in bulk, and that was a very bad idea. For all of these circuits, we're actually going to use our laser cutter because that's extremely fast. This area here, which looks really bad, is actually our export hub. We export everything to different places in our world, and it's incredibly messy and complicated, but it's actually the most important part of the base. I do have an interface here with the patterns. Again, we have an ender chest, and now we need to set up the input chest at the laser cutter itself. So this ender chest will be our input. It will insert everything that we want inside our laser cutter, and then we are also going to have an output chest. I also set filters here so that we know what items will be extracted here to the input of the laser cutter, because I'm using the same channel on the ender chest for the output. We don't want things to go from the output to the ender chest and go back into the input again. We also have a filter here at our import bus to specify which items will be imported back to our ME system, which is the final product. So if I order 1000 circuits, it's working, and it's working really fast. I also installed advanced inscribers, because right now we have only 6 CPUs, and we need 6 more. We also need like a bajillion of these co-processing units, and I'm just waiting for our CPUs to be free. And if you're wondering, this is why we need more CPUs, because most of the time all of them are busy. I really can't click fast enough. Come on, I'll be ready, I promise. Come on. We also need to check our cables. So we are using 27. I'm guessing you're also using 27. Good, cool. I added 2 more. We need a bunch more. I should not have connected them. No. I was trying to check what's holding us up, and apparently it's the redstone alloy ingot from Ender.io. It has a seed, but I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe it's not necessary, because in any case it does not have a singularity, so we're fine. We just hit 1 million redstone. We have 12 CPUs. I'm also going to improve them later on, but for now this will do. One more issue that we have to address this episode is the fact that I'm consuming 56,000 RF per tick just to run the base, and we're generating that RF using solar panels, but the problem is during nighttime they don't really produce anything, and their buffer is limited. So we need to think of a method in order to store RF during the night, and I was thinking that we go with an induction matrix from Mechanism. It's incredibly expensive, but we're also incredibly rich on capacitors, so for us it's fine. But before solving our power issues and making an induction matrix, we need to first focus on mystical agriculture. The thing is, in order to generate resources in this mod pack, mystical agriculture is the only way. The problem is, we need a lot of these ingots in order to make different tiers of essence. There are 5 of them, and they all generate in Landia. So we need to harvest them somehow, and we need thousands of them. Some of you guys were suggesting to me that I use a wood farm, but let us try this method first. I'm going to use a builder from RF Tools. By the way, I was checking how far we're from a dimension builder, and it seems not that far, because I'm actually going for the induction cells. so we can get this. And here is our builder. And it's not an achievement because we already have a builder over there making our island. We also need a quarry. We cannot make a silk flush quarry because it needs dimensional shards and we don't have it yet. Okay, can we make the normal quarry? Yeah, I have no idea what is the maximum range of this guy, but I think it's 256. It can do 512. Can you do 1024? No. Okay, maximum range is 512. So it can actually make a quarry which is 512 by 512 by like 70. That is 18 million blocks. I think we have actually everything that we are going to need. We have the builder, we have the quarry card, we have a filter so that it will only mine these blocks, we have an ender chest and the quantum entangler porter. So this should be relatively easy to set up. We also need a thing, a spot loader. Yes, the filter goes in and let us check the size of the quarry. Okay, it's wrong, obviously. Yeah, I would say this seems to be the proper depth. It will go down 80 blocks and we are at Y level 88. I'm going to readjust the size by 512 and this should work. We put an ender chest on top and let's activate you. It seems to be mining and it seems to be mining only the ores that we want. The problem is, there's not much left. Oh, the reason is I actually used the digital miner here, so an area of 32 by 32 here should be empty. It's fine. Yes, I changed the location and now it's working slightly better. The thing is, in the immediate vicinity of the portal, I have used the digital miner a lot. So it could take a while. This is the part that most of you are going to disagree with me, but I'm going to try it anyway because I find this fun. The thing is, the ores that we're getting from Landia, we're processing them in an induction smelter from thermal expansion, filled with sand and blazing pyrotium. So we're tripling all the ores. And the byproduct is sometimes a rich slag. And I'm using that rich slag in order to process Frisken ore. Frisken? It sounds very weird, I don't know what it's called, but you know, for the first tier one, which we need a lot. So we're actually quadrupling that one. And the rates are not that bad. Since I set the system up, we have 2,200 of these. We had zero. Literally zero. But another problem that we are facing right now is that our rich slag that we are producing through the other 4 induction smelters is not enough to cover the one that is consuming it. So we need to make rich slag, and for that we're going to use a clock. We're going to lose 1 piece of redstone per each operation, but I think it's worth it. So 5 redstone to get 1 rich slag. We have millions of redstone, so it's fine. So far so good, everything seems to be working, and also for the rich slag I put it on auto crafting. We make a clock, we burn it with the sand, we get 4 pieces of gold back, and there's a 20% chance of getting rich slag. We lose 1 piece of redstone, but we have a lot of redstone. Yeah, 1.3 million. I put the imaginary time block right next to the redstone seed, so this is why we're rich. Now that we have plenty of these ingots, let us see if we can make the master infusion stone. It should not be that bad. It's not that bad. We just need to make the supremium infusion crystal, which should be a quest somewhere. Then we just need to make insanium, and that's it. We have 11. That's not a quest. For the master infusion one, we're going to need 1 infusion crystal, the basic one, and then we should be able to upgrade it. Yes! I should keep this in my inventory, just in case it's a quest. Cool, the master infusion crystal. Now that we have the master infusion crystal, we should be able to put these guys on auto crafting. The thing is, we're not going to craft everything using our applied energy stick system because we're going to make a farm for supremium anyway, and that's the expensive one. So we should be fine. So can you make me 5 insanium or no? Probably not. The simulation is taking a while. Well, probably in 10 minutes it can, but we can speed it up. Obviously, this is not how we're going to farm supremium. This is just a temporary setup so that I can get a little bit. Now it is going to craft us 8 insanium, and the reason that I want that is that I would be able to make 1 more master infusion stone so that the process will be done faster. I think it should help. Yeah, because right now it has only 1 master infusion stone and it has to do everything 1 by 1. So if we have a few of them, maybe this will be much faster. Just as an FYI note, having 2 infusion stones in auto crafting helps a lot. I already made the tier 4 inferium seed and I want to make the tier 6 one so that I can also 10-10-10 this guy. For that we need a little bit of supremium and tier 6 inferium seeds. Very good. We are making progress. In order to make an induction matrix for mechanism, you're going to need lithium, because you need it in order to make the basic induction cells. The thing is, making lithium is not that easy because you're going to need 2 thermal evaporation towers, which I don't really want to do. There is a cheaty recipe using lithium dust from nuclear craft, so we're gonna use that. And this is why I have lithium seeds. And also there's a singularity for it, so yeah. I have set the recipes, and now we're going to check together what are we missing in order to make the ultimate induction cells. Okay, copper gear is fine. That is a pain because so far I've been making it in the smeltery. Transistors are fine. Capacitors should also be fine, because we have everything. We have almost 8600 crystalline capacitors, so I can just like order 500 of you. And we have everything. Cool. Everything is so fast. We are done, and we're just in time, cause look, it's almost daytime, and this is the amount of RF left. Since we decided that I have to explain myself a little bit more during the videos and try to explain what we are trying to achieve, let us do that here. So in this mod pack you're going to need millions of resources, and the way to do that is through mystical agriculture. You plant a seed, you get essence, and then you convert that essence into the resources that you're going to need. In order to craft the seeds that you want, you're going to need different types of base essences. And in order to make the higher tier one, you need the previous one, the previous one, the previous one, and it goes exponentially higher. The problem is in this mod pack, you cannot convert the essences back. You have to craft them one by one, and for that you're going to need ingots from Landia. And this is why we did this, and we made the quarry. And since Supremium is the only high tier one which we can farm from a mob, this is why I spend a lot of time here, but we are going to improve this, and we are going to have a perfect wither farm which will provide us with a lot of supremium. And the purpose of the induction matrix which we just made is very simple. We are generating a lot of RF during the day, and we are not generating anything during the night, so we need to save it somehow. The best solution that you normally have is to make a capacitor bank. This is a vibrant capacitor bank, and it can hold 25 million RF, which is nothing, because you need 40 of them in order to save 1 billion RF. 1 billion RF might sound a lot to you, but the thing is, our base consumes 50,000 RF per tick minimum. So that means every second we're consuming 1 million RF. During the night, minimum, we need 600 million RF. So we need a lot of these. And we just started consuming RF, so these guys are not gonna cut it. An ultimate induction cell from Mechanism can hold 204 billion RF. In one block. So how do we set it up? We're going to need induction casing, we're going to need 2 induction ports, and you always need to convert one of them to red using your configurator so that it will be the output. Otherwise you put the energy in and you cannot take it out. This is the minimum size of your induction matrix because it can hold 1 induction cell, which is your power bank, and 1 induction provider, which determines how much RF goes in and goes out. So this is the minimum size. You can go as high as 18 by 18 by 18. So it can get quite big, and when you close it, it will form, and it will tell you that it can hold 204 giga RF, which is 204 billion RF. We are going to lose power very soon because I'm going to set it up here and I need to remove all the solar panels. It's not the best. I'm going to make it so that internally it will have a space of 3 by 3 so that we can have 1 induction provider which will allow us to transfer 200 million RF and 8 ultimate induction cells. The rest can be air, you don't have to fill it with anything. It will recognize the block, and this will be the output. You also don't need to have a cryo-stabilized flux duct for these solar panels because I think whatever they produce they can transfer as well, and it's not going to be a huge problem for them. For the bigger ones you might have to. With the 9 solar panels that I just put here, we're generating 73,000 RF per tick during the day at its peak. So I think this was a wise decision. It consumes a lot of resources, but I think the rewards are good. I'm happy with this. We can also put these guys here. Yeah, 122,000 RF. I just wanted to check why the induction matrix is not charging up, and then I realized the buffer of the crystals is charging up. So everything goes here. I would like to mention that this is going to be a temporary solution until we get the Draconic Energy Core, and unfortunately, since that's far away, this is our best method of storing RF. Anyhow, in order to progress further into the pack, we need to make something which I've been trying to avoid all this time, because it's a super complicated recipe. We need to make this, so that we can get Terrasteel. I already made all the ruins from Botania, but we don't have these guys. And these guys don't seem very easy, because we need something called Antimony, and we also need the focal lens. So let's do that, I guess. I already made everything from embers, so this is not going to be a huge challenge. We also have a lot of ashes, but we need more. So let me set it up. I'm going to set it up here for the moment, but eventually everything from embers, astral sorcery, Botania and blood magic will go to that island, which is still under construction. For the focal lens, I have set the recipe in, I put the ashes in the aspects, and now let's give some embers to our laser cannon. So you go here, and we just have to hook you up. And you guys have been telling me that this does not have to be 2000. So let us try this. Where is the lever? Will it work? No. Well, I moved it by a little bit. Maybe that was the problem? Oh yeah, okay. It was too far away from the pedestals. And we got an alchemical waste. Amazing. Okay, so 8 for copper, 17 for silver. Originally I put 8 for copper, so we're going to put 16. And I put 32 in the silver, so we're going to put 49. Here we go again. It's really a cool animation. The focal lens. Now we need to make the antimony, and I'm very confused. Can I just use a mixer, or do I have to get into alchemy? Let's try the mixer, because we have it already. So this guy is basically molten lead and sugar. How do you melt sugar? So I'm not sure if we are allowed to be cheaty or not, but we are going to use a melter from Nuclearcraft and see if we can pump the fluids inside the mixer. And I'm not sure if it's going to work, but let us try. If I'm not wrong, we have to input the fluids from the bottom, and then we get the result on top. There's no tooltip, that's the problem. We just put a tank and see if we get something. No. Okay, so this was my mistake, because if you look at the recipes for the mixer centrifuge, it does not have one for antimony. We already had a mixer centrifuge, I made the alchemical globe thingy, and I also read the book, so apparently I just have to put it here on the side, and then right click, and it should absorb the ashes, hopefully, maybe. And we got an alchemical waste, nice. Okay, downstone was inaccurate by 5, okay, so I know what to do. I put 16 in each one of them, so we're going to put 21 in downstone. And this is downstone. Let us try again. Personally, I think Embers is a really cool mod, it has very neat animations, but the problem is, I have no idea what I'm doing. So how much charge do you have? 3,500. Yeah, let's try again. It's going down, it's going down. Do you need 8,000 or is it less? Okay, it's working. I think this guy requires a lot of embers. If it doesn't work this time, I will let it just fully charge. Oh, we're getting it! What am I talking about? We have it! We have 1 bucket and I think we only need like 2 ingots. That's it. We put the bucket inside and I think I can just pour it in. Yeah. I think we have it. We need an inscription stamp and now we should be able to get into Terrasteel. Perfect. Now that we can make Terrasteel, making the Philosopher's Stone is actually not that far away. We just need to get the soul crystals. I have to fight the Guardian of Gaia, which is not going to be that difficult if nothing has changed. And we need the creative essence, which is also not that bad. So maybe 1 episode from now? I'm not sure, but we are going to start making some items. We need Black Lotus. We have almost 7,000. That is great. 7,000 Black Lotus might sound a lot, but we're actually going to need a lot of Terrasteel in order to make the seed. So it's not that much. But let's start making the first one. I hope nothing has changed. It has changed. As a person who loves Botania, I should know that that was not the altar. This is the altar. I'm very sorry. Now it works. Yes! the first one. Now that we have Terrasteel, we can start making the Elven portal. We're going to need an Elven gateway core and 2 Natura pylons. The gateway core goes here, we make the rest of the portal and add the pylons. And we just have to right click with our wand. It's active. And generally the first thing that you want to trade with the elves is your Botania. I actually made this guy right now because in order to make Terrasteel faster, we're going to need more mana pools and we're going to need sparks. So I'm going to try and make a few augments. And the recipe for pixie dust has not been changed. Good. So we're going to make a recessive augment and a few more sparks. We put the sparks on top of the mana pools and we add the recessive augment to one of them. It doesn't really matter which one because we're going to use Black Lotus right now, but later on it really does matter. And I missed one. So now this guy will try to empty his mana into the other mana pool. Now that we have a decent mana battery, making Terrasteel should be relatively easy. I think. Yeah, much faster. I personally would have loved to end this episode by having a Guardian of Gaia fight, but we're burning through Black Lotuses really fast. We have already consumed 3,500 of them, and I only have 21 Terrasteel ingots. Okay, I thought 2 more to go, but we need 8 blocks, and that's 72. We have 72! Very good, because we need 72 in order to make 8 blocks so that we can make the seed. And I will explain to you why we need the seeds, because I discovered something really bad. Really bad. Let's make the blocks and save them somewhere safe, so that I'm sure I'm not spending them on something garbage. And we have 960 Black Lotus left. Yeah, we also have 12 backup, so we should be okay for the moment. The reason that we're going to have to make a seed for every single ingot that Botania offers us is this recipe which is just in front of you, the Wand of Animation. It's really bad, but it gets worse. It's going to require 2 million singularities, which is 9,000 million blocks. It's not bad, but Miriam does not have EMC. In fact, it's just an alloy of Terrasteel, Mana Steel, Elementium, Cobalt, and Glass. And we need 18,000 blocks. And I would like to reiterate again, without EMC. So it's a challenge. Also, if I'm not wrong, we should be able to make the Philosopher's Stone next episode, because I think we have everything. Except these guys. Yeah, we have 3 of them, the 4th one is being crafted. Okay, it's fine. And yes, I do read the comments. No. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.